You may be thinking this plastic ban is such a suddenly you brought all that. I don't want to tell you, we brought in time, Honorable CM gave enough time, all that. I know all aspect of it. You know, when we brought the Zatali system, Zatali, the water is one important non-living resources of the system. They are finite in nature, though there is only H2O and nobody can make water. You have to manage with available water. If you look at the water, you know 97% of the water is in the form of sea water, water which cannot be consumed. Is only 3% of the total water is fresh water, of which 2% of the water is remain in the form of ice. They are there, they are not again available. It is only 1% of the water. What is that you come across? What is that you come across? In which there is seen water, there is unseen water. You know the fight which is taking place between the seen water of Tamil Nadu and Karnataka. So this is water which you come across in lakes, ponds, rivers, your bottles here and there. There is unseen water underneath the earth, here and there, in the air also, atmosphere. So this is only accounts for 1% of the total water. And for information, for a given area, the rain is the only source. You all know it. Rain is the only source of water. And of course, when heat takes place, the sea water evaporates, it goes and it falls as the rain. Imagine a situation when rain comes, if there is no cover or tree or anything, naturally it will gain momentum and hit the soil. The top soil is more important. That soil took birth from the bottom. The bigger boulders, you know, weathered and into a smaller boulder, into minor boulders, and ultimately what you see is the soil. And this top soil, about 15-20 centimeters, is only the live soil, which has got life in it. And this would have taken millions of years to form. That soil is more important. It has to be protected as such. And here only you can do cultivation. You can live on it, this biosphere mantle. And this water, if not protected, it actually will be eroded. The rain, when it goes and hit the soil, it will gain momentum as it reaches the earth by gravitational pull, and it will heat, and in the process it will start eroding. The continuous flow of rain will take out the soil, lead to soil erosion. And trees are the only apparatus which collects water. If you look at the area where the arid condition is there, where water is the scanty, water is the limiting factor. If you look at the trees, the branches of the trees, all trees will have upward turned branches. As though they are collecting water like a funnel and dropping to the ground as a stem flow. It's a very important part of the tree, the functions of the tree. This is another essential ecological process. I want to just to tell 1 or 2 points here and there. And if trees are there, naturally they first intercept. Interception is one, stop. Then they redistribute. If you look at it, it's like a funnel. Major chunk of the water in the arid condition is converted into stem flow. They are being gently dropped on the ground. And part of the rain will touch the canopy and drip down. They are called canopy drip. And maybe certain part of the water will directly reach in between trees, is called through fall. These are very important things. And this is how the rainwater reaches the ground in an wooded area. Here another dimension I will tell. The water delivered as the stem flow, there exists a good amount of relation between the root and the soil, rainwater. The water will follow the root will grow along the water will follow the root, and root goes, in search of water. This is how it goes. It takes the water to the deep bottommost layer of the soil. They are called the base flow. They fill the bottommost layer of the soil. The water falls as a canopy drip. It also cannot run immediately. There will be a lot of litter. If you look at there also you can classify the soil into A horizon, B horizon, or whatever. And this area has got a lot of sponge-like humus content, and that will collect, fill the subsurface portion of the soil. This water will fill subsurface portion. It is only the excess water during high rainfall and all will escape as runoff. That is what you happen to see as a falls and all. There is a surface water, subsurface water, and base flow. And this base flow is important because again, if you look at after rain, the amount of water which runs as surface flow will be there in the system for few minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour, or whatever it is. Whereas the water gone subsurface will be in the system for more than that. It will be there for hours to days together. Whereas the water reached as a base flow, be there in the system for months and years together, till rain comes, next rain comes. Only this water comes out as spring, and they contribute as a small streams. Streams join together in the rivers, and rivers takes the water from one place to another. There is no city in the world, no city in this Chennai, Tamil Nadu, India, on the bank of the river. Almost all the cities, your civilization onwards, your Sindhu civilization and whatnot, your Madurai, your Salem, your Coimbatore, all cities are on the bank of one river or another. And agriculture, of course, a lot of things are there. That is why these are all very important. This is the system ultimately. If you want to have a clean, clear environment, clean water, air, all that, we have to manage. Plastic, of course, I don't want to criticize. It's only in between that come. It has got a lot of impact. The minute organisms, they don't have sense. They just eat. There are a lot of films coming up. The turtles and all. Everything has got a lot of the microplasts. They all get into water bodies, ultimately being eaten out, swallowed. What will happen? And for information, the last point I would like to tell you, the corona. When I was talking about the equator to polar, equator, MSL to hilltop, organisms are very specific. What you see in equator cannot be seen in polar. What you see the polar, you cannot see in alpine. You understand this? Can you see any organism? Can you see elephants all over the world? All over the world, elephants, such a big organism. Can you see tiger all over the world? No. Even you cannot live. Human cannot live. It is only when you go there, you wear all jerkin, all this buffalo skin, this, that. Then you change the environment, putting AC, this, that. And of course, by eating hot things and all in a colder area. And when you go up down to summer places, also you remove everything. Then of course, you change the climate and change to something. You eat cool drinks and all. But as a nude man, you cannot live. You will become dry fish. All will become dry fish. When such a multicellular organism having all senses cannot live all over the world, do you expect the corona to be seen all over the world? No. It is an unicellular unknown organism, but it is there. Yes, it is here also, it is there in Wuhan also, it is there in Australia, America, Brazil, here, there, Africa, everywhere, North India, South India, all. Because of one important thing, that the loss of cultural diversity, the heritage, the food style which you have, your health practices, they are all the product of nature. The nature dictates what should you eat, how it should eat, how to prepare it, the sequence of eating, all that, your practices, your health practices. If you look at your medicine, 40% of the medicines are from plants. And this is also 1% of the total medicine plants available. Of the total plants, medicinal plants, is only 1% is known to you. And this accounts for about 40% of your total medicine. So these are the important significance of the living resources. So corona cannot be seen, but it is there because you are changing your lifestyle, putting a full hand coat, kit, something like that, AC. You lost your cultural practices, games like small games, skill, tandal, goli and all. Your food, so much, what is that you have been told to eat. They all have come through over a period. It's not one day affair, it is over a period by trial and error. Our ancestors have narrowed down to this. But we don't want to eat our staple food. We want to eat pizza. We want to eat something like that. We want to live like them. Do you consider this as the development? Development, conservation, I told you about conservation, is nothing but the management of the resources available. Such a way that you get maximum return without affecting its future potential. That is more important. Because the system has to serve our grandchildren. We are not inherited this from our parents, and we are borrowed it from grandchildren. So conservation, sustainable management, all that has become part of it. Honorable courts have given a various judgment. The conventions which took place, The Stockholm Convention 1972, where our Honorable Prime Minister attended, there only, of course, they narrow down that the humanity action will continue to deteriorate, as long as or till international economic order is evolved, number one. And environmental ethics is followed, number two. Number three, the population stabilizes. Number four, that the sustainable mode of development becomes the rule rather than the ethics. So sustainable management of the resources, sustainable development are more important. Not that we are the only last generation be in this world. We have to leave to our generations. That is why the government, our Honorable Chief Minister, everyone is articulating. Maybe small issues will be there while doing it. And you have to also think about it in this particular angle, this environmental angle, what government feels about what Honorable Court to say. And the same Honorable Courts has given a lot of beautiful judgments. I'll tell you, the ZLD system, when we said, without treating, they used to let off. Then we asked them to treat and leave. Then we brought to ZLD that you don't use water, you recycle, make use of it. And no water should be let down. And now you see we have gone for it, and people now, they are following. All big industries, we have directed them to have their own ETP. They observe as ZLD. They are doing it. They are not looting. Not letting into the water bodies. So occasionally here and there, one or two fellows, small fellows will do that mischievous things. But overall, in general, so when the government brings in a new idea, it is only for our sake. It is for our health, for our practice, for our it is. So understand these basic 3 things, 4, 5 things, whatever it is which I have told you, kindly cooperate. Just because other department told, I don't think that other department like other officers, like even SIPET also, they may not know because he is interested in his product. You take other department, food packaging department, they will be interested in their food, but they do not look into environmental angles. The damages of environment life, this is a life. In the Parliament of Environment, the currency is not money, it is a life. It is a life. That is why Honorable High Court last time when Sterlite issue was heard, they said, when economy is pitted against environment, it is only the environment will reign supreme. Because environment more important, much more than anything for that matter. So with that, I just to conclude, thank you gentlemen, thank you.